Spoilers, 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 spoiler. Thank you to our final patrons, Red Bull 4765, Midnight Gem Lord, and Sean. And another thank you to our $3 members, Wakanda Plays and Red Bull 4765. Another thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha and I Demo Kami. And a very big thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. Now, we're on this breakdown / discussion and analysis of the spoilers. Spoilers, 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 spoilers on spoilers, by spoilers, of spoilers, all around spoilers, for chapter 224 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Please, do me a favor and leave your own spoilers in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully that little notification bell to miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon below, which is as low as $1 a month. Get links to the videos, other content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into the spoiler discussion. What's up, guys? I love Pencil here, and like, I know, like, there's so many things I want to say about this chapter. First things first, this does not feel like the battle between, like, it does, but, like, the tone of both, but it makes sense, right? This battle tonally does not feel like a battle between the strongest sorcerer in history and the strongest sorcerer that we know of in the modern day, as the last chapter called it. This doesn't feel like it. Mainly because neither of them seem to be taking it all that seriously so far. Like, I don't know why. But this chapter, it really gives me the vibes of two homies that are really, really good at a video game and are playing with each other with, like, random characters, just messing around. Like, they don't actually really care about the stakes or ramifications of this fight, and it's so wild that that's this chapter in a nutshell. But let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and I do have it on me, and I keep it on me at all times. But with that being the case, we'll see if the chapter is worthy of that after I talk about the rest of the spoilers. So, spoilers once again. Spoilers once again. I'm just going to keep saying it. This is the last warning you get. If you don't want to be spoiled, run. But here we are with spoilers. And I have to admit, first things first, at least in the I don't know. I don't have a translation, right? I just have what the guy said the general gist of the chapter was. And we see that Sukuna's opening up with the trash talk. I love that. Like, like, obviously the last chapter ended off with, like, bro, literally getting his arm zooped off. So the fact that Sukuna really is like, yeah, you know what the time it is? You know what time it is? It's time to talk smack. It's time to test the cut of his jib. That's what I'm really down for. That's great. Let me just double make sure. This is right after Sukuna just got his arm blown off. It is, in fact, this is chapter 223 to chapter 223. So this is Sukuna right after getting his arm blown off. And the first thing he's doing is he starts chatting. And now, notably, that does set a precedent. Sukuna, after getting hit by a 200% hollow purple, lost an arm, and we clearly see right here, he just, boom, regenerates it. So that's a big thing. Gojo cannot execute Sukuna or permanently stop or even seemingly slow down his regen with something like hollow purple. Being that red and blue are going to be useless too. If the combination of red and blue doesn't do anything to stop Sukuna's healing factor, then red and blue individually aren't going to do anything to stop his healing factor. And once again, that was a 200% hollow purple. That was amped. Double the power, obviously. So we know Gojo can spam hollow purple. No problem at all. It takes literally no cursed energy from him. Once again, Gojo literally, for all intents and purposes, has infinite stamina. So it's not insane for him to just start boop, boop, purple, 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 purple. Like, just turn the whole room to Barney. Just turn the entire city into Barney the dinosaur. That could easily happen. But the fact that Sukuna meets that, gets caught off guard, loses an arm, and is like, yo, according to this, he's like, Gojo Satoru, you are just a fish on the cutting board. This is a little livelier than the others. A fish without a name. First, I'll get rid of your scales. And you know, this does kind of fit. I forget who mentioned it. This is what happens when you, like, read a whole bunch into Phantom Interaction, but don't, like, write anything down. Then you start writing stuff down. Someone mentioned that a lot of Sukuna's stuff is, like, very food related, like very chef related, like cleaving this mantle. When we see it, it's literally two types of cooking knives. Like, they aren't like a dagger or a blade or anything like that, or a sword. No, like, it's a I'm not a chef. I'm not a chef, so I don't know what it is. But it's not like just random knives. It's like a knife that you use for chopping meat and a knife you use for like chopping vegetables. That's what Cleave and Dismantle are compared to. Obviously, his whole thing of getting stronger, returning himself to his prime, is like literally scrumptious, delicious, eating his own fingers. So he loves to eat. We know that. Heck, his whole thing, a big thing that we know, what was Uraume for him? Not really an assistant or a guard or anything like that. No, a chef who could whip it up in the kitchen real good. So Sukuna, he's always obsessed with this cooking thing. I wonder, like, can you imagine if Sukuna, like the original Sukuna, before becoming like the strongest sorcerer of the ancient times and like evolving into the king of curses that we know him as today, he was just a chef. Like, bro really was just like, just chopping it up in the kitchen. And then that gave birth to his technique. Because we know usually techniques manifest based around, like, who you are. Like, your technique determines just as much as who you are as you determine how much your technique is what it is. So, like, there is some interplay with that. So the fact that Sukuna is, once again, bringing up the cooking stuff, very, very interesting. And it's interesting how Sukuna, once again, just feels completely non-threatened. Like, notably, Gojo is the only character that Sukuna's actually given props to. Unless I'm mistaken. He's mid respect or, like, some interest in some other people, but, like, the main idea of giving props is specifically when he executes Gojo. Or maybe he's gonna execute Gojo. But specifically when he executes Jogo, when he's like, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. You really want to be strong? You really want to be different? You want to level yourself up, dog? You should have been like Gojo. So, like, he acknowledges that Gojo's up there. But now, in this case, he's like, hey, yo, Gojo, you ain't nothing but a nameless fish. You ain't nothing but something on the cutting board to be chopped up. Know what I'm saying? Dog? Let me level with you real quick. You just ain't him. So, it's interesting. Sukuna's mentality here is what's really intriguing me. But, of course, you know, our boy Gojo, he ain't even concerned. But Sukuna does whip out something interesting. He immediately opens, not with 10 Shadows, not with Cleaver Dismantle, but he opens with the fire technique. And notably, we don't see, at least, I'm not sure, maybe it's different in the English text, and I'll wait, obviously, once we have the translation, and then I'll even wait further until we have the official translation. But remember when Sukuna summoned the fire before, he had to be like, he had like hit a hand sign or two and go, box. Or like, there was like a weird, it looked like a really large and well-defined period, or just a box, and then he said open, and then that's how I got the flames. But no, 20 fingers Sukuna, which admittedly I am still very disappointed that he's not changing the face, but this is something that they tackle in the chapter. But we see Sukuna, he lights up the flames just naturally. He plans to go at Gojo with the flames, and he even takes on like a, I saw someone compare it to Goku, but there's a specific character, I think it may just be Goku, but I feel like there's a specific character who uses this stance that Sukuna goes into. And I wonder if that's just a direct reference or, you know, it is just like a common fighting stance. Like, obviously, I recognize it as a fighting style. I can't tell you what it is because, once again, not a chef, not a fighter, not a king of curses, not any of that. So I can't really tell you anything specific, but it looks familiar enough that my brain's like, pattern recognition. I know what that is, maybe. So that is something to be noted. However, let's see. What we also see here is that Gojo, he loses the fit. And, like, I'm not going to lie, I get what, like, personally as an artist and as a guy who's trying to do a little something with his own comic, it is annoying to draw codes. Like, it just is annoying to draw codes consistently. Especially considering code physics. Like, you think, like, video game designers are the only ones who have to worry about, like, the physics of clothing, stuff like that, to make sure it don't click. No, you as any, like, whenever you're drawing something or creating something that has clothes on it, you need to think about how those clothes would interact, unless they're, like, skin tight. If they're essentially skin tight, you just draw it like it's the character's skin. You don't have to worry about how much they're going to interact, more than you have to worry about how the body's going to interact. Even if they're, like, somewhat loose, like the baggy pants that both Gojo and Sukuna are wearing. That's not too difficult either. At most, they'll be like, I don't have any, like, easily accessible fabric, but, like, here, we'll use this for example. Like, at most, the baggy pants, you have to worry, okay, they're kicking this way, so it's gonna pull like this, or they're kicking that way, it's gonna pull like that. Like, that's the most you have to worry about there. But with coats, like, considering they're all big and fluffy, like, they move everywhere. Like, obviously, don't go jumping off a building with a coat, but if you were, or if you saw someone doing that, you see in the movies all the time, like, the coats will start flying in the wind and stuff like that, and that's annoying to draw every single time. So I get why Gege gets rid of Sukuna's coat, and Gojo discards his, but like I really would love to see them fight like this. Especially if I'm not even gonna get like, at least for now, I still think we have to. I think we have to. I'm not sure how, I'm not sure why, I'm not sure Mega B can be saved after that, but I think we have to get original body Sukuna one way or another. We need to get the face change. Since we can't even have that right now, it would have been cool to see Sukuna fighting within the cloak. I think that would have been so much more neat. This outfit's cool and all, and obviously I like seeing the tattoos on Sukuna. Those are really, really neat. But still, it would have been cool to see him fight with the cloak. Ah! Scared me. You didn't need to find anything. That terrified me. You're going off now, because stay away. But with that being the case, did Gojo have to remove it? Like, once again, I get why Sukuna removed his, because it literally got blown off the hollow purple. But like, Gojo, you were looking drippy, my boy. But no, we don't get to see that. And no, maybe those look like the flames. Those look like the exact same way the flames are drawn. Because we see Gojo take up a mirroring stance to Sukuna, and he's got the curses all around him too. Like, he's got energy around him too. I'm assuming this is just general cursed energy. Like, we see it in the anime. I think the anime does it really well with the blue light that like rises and flares off of Yuji's fist. Maybe this is just that for both of them, I guess. But Sukuna's very specifically look like flames, while Gojo's much more look like concentrated, like cursed energy. Knuckle dusters? Nah, knuckle dusters are too small. Like, it literally looks like Gojo makes boxing gloves of cursed energy around his fist, which makes sense. Once again, I don't think you want to make contact with Sukuna. Like, I know it's weird to say, and considering what Gojo does later on in this chapter, it's weird to say, but like, I don't think you really want to make physical contact with him, so having like that buffer would be really, really nice. And then Gojo, but do they, I don't know. Personally, I don't really see the family resemblance between, yeah, I really don't. Maybe if the hair was down, but Sukuna specifically, like, went the hair up. Gojo, apparently, once again, I don't know exactly what he says here, but according to this loose translation I have, apparently Gojo says he can punch a Megami without mercy because he looks like Toji. And like, of all the ways for Toji to get a callback, bro, of all the ways for Toji to get a callback, especially considering Gojo's literally in Toji's fit right now, like verbatim, word for word, bar for bar, this is the exact same fit that Toji had when he came and, you know, did his thing with Gojo. The fact that he gets a callback like that, I mean, that's kind of crazy. I mean, it fits though. It fits. It's true. I guess they are father and son, but I personally kind of don't see it. Like, Toji has a much wider chin. The hair's down. Toji's hair is down while Megami's hair is up right now. Obviously, the tattoos. I don't see a resemblance between the two that much. They both have black hair. That's the only resemblance you're getting out of me. But then you're going to say that Maki looks like Megami too. So I don't know about that. But the two get ready to engage. And I do like, once again, a big thing that I'm going to talk about once I actually get back to the review. Sorry, I've been super busy in this last few weeks. That's why I kind of just like what's that guy's name? Niles, like just like faded out of existence. But with what I'm going to get back is I like how we're building. Obviously, we started off pretty darn strong. Like, you don't just open up with hollow purple 200%, but still now we're like starting to build with the basics. These two aren't immediately just like, they aren't immediately going Ryoki Tenkai or like, I forget how Sukuna does his, but Ryoki, like, they aren't immediately opening domain. They're actually feeling each other out, being like, wait, hold on, we got a little bit of fun with this, right? You the strongest, I'm the strongest, let's box it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like that. And we see the two immediately get to work. The thing is, though, another reason why I think maybe that stuff from Sukuna earlier wasn't actually the fire, and the reason he didn't do the box thing, is because the aura effects around their hands immediately disappear once they get to clashing. Like they instantly... Like, they have, once again, they start to cover themselves in cursed aura again. But, like, when they had this initial clash, Sukuna going in for the kick and Gojo blocking, the energy effect is gone. I don't know. I mean, once again, it's annoying to draw. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it's annoying to draw. Trust me, I know. But even still, it would have been cool to see. Like, once again. But, interesting. This is 20 finger, y'all. This is 20, it's the equivalent to, because we know the final finger is who knows where. A lot of people are theorizing that the way they're going to get rid of Sukuna is to beat Megami, Gojo's going to beat Megami's body down, and then Yuji may come in and soul swap with Megami, or soul swap with Sukuna, so that Sukuna's now in Itadori's body. And then while Sukuna's in a super weakened vessel or whatever, or is super weak soul-wise, then Nobara's gonna come in and like resonance the final finger that Gojo kept hidden. And then bada bing, bada boom, Sukuna perishes. But still, this is the equivalent to 20 finger Sukuna, and Gojo's keeping up. Now, obviously, I don't personally believe that this body is as powerful as the original 20 finger. Just look at the difference in gains and the difference in hands, for one. And obviously, Sukuna isn't wielding any specific weapons right now, or either of them are really using curse techniques. But the fact that this is 20 finger, for all intents and purposes, this is full power Sukuna, and Gojo's just... That's crazy. That's great. Like, this is a massive gap above 15 finger. And 15 finger already established there's a massive gap between him and the rest of the verse. This is wild. This is wild. And I think this pretty much confirms, like, a lot of people were still kind of sort of having discussions about, like, 15 finger versus Gojo. Like, oh, they clash. Maybe they're somewhat relative. I think Gojo would slam 15 finger now. Because if he's doing this to 20 finger, like, actually having, like, even about exchange, I think that kind of confirms that 15 finger is like beneath the range of Gojo. I think that's in a tier lower, which is crazy because 15 finger is still a tier lower, or no, a tier above pretty much the rest of the verse. So it's wild to say that, and it really puts into perspective how like weak the rest of the special grades are. Kenny included. Like, Kenny included, it's crazy how weak they are compared to these two. But you see the two start to have a good hand-to-hand, a scuffle, and I don't know why Gojo does this, but like he's straight as Sukuna goes and swings. Like he tries to hit him with the meanest of right hooks, you know, the regular. Gojo, he just lays down, and I mean, I guess to dodge, but like, bro, you could have just ducked. You could have stepped back. Why'd you straight lay down? I have no clue, but Gojo immediately goes and just sends Sukuna flying. Well, to be fair, not flying too far. Just goes straight into the building. But interesting. This doesn't appear to be red or blue or anything like that. This just seems to be like genuine telekinesis. Has Gojo shown that before? Like, has he used... I'm trying to think. We don't have many encounters with Gojo. I don't think we've ever seen him use just genuine telekinesis. Because that is what this is, right? Because, like, notably, at first, when I first, like, quickly just, like, glanced through it as fast as I could, I thought maybe this was, like, him using red and blue or, like, drawing Sukuna to a certain space with that. But no, this appears to just be bargain... That sounds weird saying bargain, man. But, like, regular telekinesis. Interesting. It's interesting to see that Gojo has that. And another interesting thing is to see that Gojo's genuinely engaging with Sukuna. Because you gotta remember... Unless Sukuna pulls something out that can negate infinity, Gojo doesn't actually need to worry about Sukuna. He could just stand there and let Sukuna... Like he could just start swinging and Gojo could just... Is that all you can do? Like that's a viable option right now. But no. Sukuna's actually Gojo's genuinely actually engaging with Sukuna right now. And to be fair, I understand why he's slightly wary of doing that. Like, maybe the reason he's engaging is just worrying about domain application. Because notably, Sukuna's not using his technique in this opening little fisticuff. He's not pulling out his technique. And the last time Gojo fought someone who was tangentially related to curses that also were not using their techniques, they had domain amplification. And sure, while Jogo and Hanami probably couldn't break through infinity, especially once it was reinforced, it's entirely possible that 20 fingers Sukuna could. So I can understand slightly why Gojo's engaging, but still, he has a big old grin on his face as he slams Sukuna into a wall. So the general nature of this fight, it seems so aloof. Like it seems so... Is passive the word? I'm not exactly sure what word I should be using here. But Gojo has this big old grin on his face, like he's just playing around with his kid. And Maguna's like, "Dog, why are you doing this to me, bro? Like, ain't you the strongest dog? Like, if you gonna exercise me, just exercise me, bro. Like, huh? Come on now, come on." Oh, and interesting thing, I kind of glazed over it, but according to this, it said that Gojo's fine. Like, Megami is secondary. That's a big thing that's said here. Megami is secondary. Supposedly. This is what Gojo says. What Gojo actually feels, or what the plan actually is, I have no idea. But Gojo says accordingly. Let me just double check myself before I start fibbing at y'all. Not only that, but Gojo even says he can punch Megumi without mercy because he looks like Toji. First comes slaying Sukuna, then worry about Megumi. So, this is a thing. Slaying Sukuna is the priority, not saving Megumi, supposedly. But I don't buy it. But then again, obviously, because like, if we're being real, if he really doesn't care about Megumi, if Megumi can just be collateral, open domain. Open domain and Sukuna loses. Like right now, I don't see, because notably Sukuna, once again, he's not using any of the 10 shadows. He does not have Maharaga's wheel twirling above his head right now. I think Infinite Void, if Gojo were to just open Infinite Void right now, especially if he uses the point 2, where it's just so quick that Sukuna could probably barely react to it to try and open his own domain, that's it. Sukuna's then brain dead. And then, you know, Megumi's gone too. That would be unfortunate. It'd be rough stuff, but that'd be it. So I think that's a bit of a lie. I think Gojo's fibbing there, trying to get his... I think he may be telling himself that. Because notably, I'm going to talk about Gojo's reactions or lack thereof once I get to the reviews. Trust me, I'm going to catch up. But still, interesting, the general idea that, oh yeah, Megumi, he's kind of like... Not an afterthought. An afterthoug's a rude way to put it. But he's not the priority here. He's much more like a bonus. Slaying Sukuna is the most important thing. And to be fair, that makes sense. That does make sense within the context of the story. But, you know, I said it before and I'll say it again. Megumi is essentially Gojo's son. There's like no other way I can really put it. So he probably does want to save Megumi. But according to him, maybe not. However, we do get to see as Sukuna does get slammed through multiple buildings. Once again, it doesn't appear this is anything like Omega fancy. It just seems like this is telekinesis. Like Gojo's literally willing Sukuna away. Intriguing. That means hypothetically, if he can use it on him, he could use it on the Shikigami. So something like this. So, and like, how would Maharaga? Like, Maharaga is obviously the biggest thing. I think everyone and their mama knows that the rest of the Shikigami aren't really doing anything unless they all get... Like, there's a specific circumstance that I think Maharaga could be used to buff all the rest of the Shikigami, and that's if Maharaga loses, gets exercised, and then suddenly all the Shikigami through, what's it called? I forget what happened. Remember, like, you know how Divine Dogs went from Divine Dogs to Divine Dog Totality, where the one Divine Dog, and then suddenly the remains of its power fused into the remaining Divine Dog, creating a Super Divine Dog that was strong enough to harm special grades with its claws. Like that, you know how that happened? If Sukuna lets Maharaga get GG'd, and Maharaga's technique spreads to the rest of the 10 shadows, then I think it could cause a problem. But other than that, if Sukuna tries to use the 10 shadows just against Gojo, they're all gonna die. Sure, Sukuna may be able to eat a hollow purple, but I don't think that big old Nue can. I don't think the Piercing Bull can. I don't think the Tranquil Deer can. The Tranquil Deer may be annoying because like it has the RCT release, which may negate purple, but I think Gojo can beat that thing. Just like literally just beat it out of existence. So the rest of the Shikigami are going to be too useful. The main ones I'm looking for are the final unrevealed one, and Maharaga. Those are the main two I'm looking to see. But once again, Sukuna's not using them at all. He recovers right here. I love how Sukuna, I can't exactly tell what happens here in this panel, but I think Gojo went to stomp on Sukuna and Sukuna threw himself away. He was like, whoa, I did not come here to get stepped on. I'm not into that, Gojo. I'm not into that. It's weird you want to do that with your own kid. But we do get to see that Gojo is just schmoving. Like, and I love it. I love how, once again, forceful it feels. A big thing that I say, it's JJK, Sakamoto days, and it depends. It depends on the chapter. Sometimes Chainsaw Man, sometimes not Chainsaw Man. Those are the three big ones in Shonen Jump that consistently use their environments in interesting ways and consistently remembers that, hey, these characters are cracked. Like, these characters are different. They're on a physically different level than average human beings and creatures of that ilk. Because you see what happens is as Gojo's stomping here, like, you know, he's really trying to drop Sukuna, and Sukuna's literally like barrel rolling away to not get stepped on, which is crazy. Once again, this is 20 Finger Sukuna barrel rolling away, dodging away from Gojo. we see Gojo simply stomps. He stomps once, and the whole bridge they were on drops. Just straight boom, bow, kapow, bing bang. Like, that is crazy. Once again, Gojo's not. He's big. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. I think he's like what, 6. Let me check Gojo's stats real quick. But I'm pretty sure he's like 6'5", something like that. So he's big. He's bigger than. He's much taller than the average individual. But let me see. Satoru Gojo. Yeah, aren't y'all proud of me? I got the Googler on deck. But let's see. Satoru Gojo. Yeah, so he's 6'3". Where's his weight? 6'3". I do not see his weight. Someone tell me if y'all can see his weight on the wiki. I do not see his weight on the wiki. However, regardless of his girth, if I do have to say something. I shouldn't say it like that. But regardless of his girth, I said it again. Regardless of his weight, his girth, we see that he just slammed, meaning he was stomping with like malicious intent. And another thing I really like is that Sukuna, since Sukuna can't fly, as far as I know, he can't actually fly. He can hop off air. We've seen him hop off air before in the battle with Jogo. But considering he can't fly, he actually falls a little bit with the building. But Gojo, since he can fly, he just stomps, the building falls, he's just looking down like. Once again, the mentality that Gojo's going into this with is crazy. And this really goes to show you that Gojo in all the fights we've seen before was drastically holding back. Like think about how much he had to be, like the insane amounts that he had to be holding back with that characters like Jogo, Hanami, Choso, Mahito, like all the toes out there, like all of them. The fact that he didn't absolutely just one-tap him, he must have just been chilling. Like, he's doing this by stomping around. Well, don't. If you are on the second floor, even if you're on the first floor, if you have people in your area, don't do this. But, like, stomp. Just stomp on the floor. Do you think you could drop your house if you stomped on the floor hard enough? Drop your apartment? Do you? Gojo dropped a whole building. Well, not a whole building, but at least a whole bridge that was composed of concrete. He just dropped it by stomping on it. He's him. I'm sorry. It's just him. And we do get to see that Sukuna, like, I'm not saying this is embarrassing. He doesn't seem, it's weird to say he doesn't seem pressed, even though he's trying to regain his stance. But that's the thing. Sukuna, facially wise, he doesn't seem like all too shocked or surprised. He's more just like focused, like, this is a rough state of affairs I'm in. Like, he seems like that, but he's still like running, rolling away, grabbing onto the building or the bridge as it's falling. Like, Gojo's just having a good old golly good time with Sukuna, and Sukuna's like, wait, hold on. I need to get a grip, chill out. And we do get to see that Gojo is playing no games. He once again using what seems to be purely telekinesis, just, and then immediately the piece of, I think literally what happened was, and I love the look on Gojo's face here. I wish I could. I'm not going to show the raws in this video because once again, I'm afraid, I'm scared. But Gojo literally, he throws the building up and then goes like this with this crazy look on his face and slams the piece of bridge that Sukuna's on into another building, like straight through the building. However, this time you see Sukuna does get enough of his bearings that he drops off. And this is so cool. I wish we could see more of it in action, but you can see it because once again, Gege's really good with his paneling and his drawing, where he looks like he springs off, he pushes off the building, pops off to the building wall before the bridge makes contact with the building, skirts off the building wall into the top of a roof, and immediately starts dashing. I love it. Sukuna, I think he has, next to Maki and Toji, one of the most interesting movement styles in the verse. I know it sounds weird to say. I think it's him, Maki, Toji, Naoya, and Naobito who always have like really fluid and really cool dynamic movement. I put Kasho and Akari up there too. They move really, really cool in their fights too. But I love like the form. The form. Like, Sukuna's really a quality sprinter, bro. He's got the proper form. He's driving his arms, he's pumping his legs. Like, bro really is about that life. And we see, and I love it so much. And I think it hits different because this isn't Dragon Ball. This isn't, I mean, really, it doesn't happen that often in Seven Deadly Sins, though a bunch of characters can fly there. But even this isn't Seven Deadly Sins. This isn't anything where flying is common. So I love where you just see Gojo just Like he's just vibing in midair. Once again, it feeds so much into that like honored one mentality, that honored one dynamic where he's just fly. I'm just flying in the sky. Like that's all bro's doing right now, and it's fantastic. However, we do get to see that Sukuna, he pulls out the spirit gun. Like, I don't know. I haven't watched Hunter. It's not Hunter x Hunter. I literally Yusuke like why is my brain? Why is my brain? Yu Yu Hakusho. There we go. I don't know why Yu Yu Hakusho refused to come to my mind right there. But I guess Sukuna's a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, bro. Because it looks verbatim. I'm not sure. I think he literally grabs his arm too. I think this is literally just Yusuke's spirit gun. But he's using dismantle with it. And that's interesting. He grabs, I guess, to stabilize the aim or something like that, because he is still in motion. He leaps into midair to do this. But there's an interesting thing here. It seems like Gojo can't perceive cleave and dismantle. I'm not exactly sure. There's no text on this page, so it's not like the chapter will come in and clarify it. But interesting. It doesn't harm Gojo. Not at all. In fact, I would dare say it seems like it ricocheted off of him. Like, if like, how can I do this with hands? So like, it seems like if Sukuna's here and he fired dismantle and Gojo's up here, it looks like it was aimed for his head. And then since he has infinity activated, instead of just like stopping here and being held in place by the infinity, it just like bounced off, like the infinity were a legit wall and just tore into the building above Gojo. Gojo looks back at the building, and Sukuna takes that opportunity to launch in, but that's interesting. It seems like Gojo can't see it, or if he can see it, he doesn't necessarily do anything about it. I think he may have to learn to adapt to seeing it or something like that, and he's probably going to start moving those with his telekinesis too. That's going to be interesting to see how he's going to deal with that in the long run, especially considering, domain. But we do see Sukuna comes in, once again, with that cursed energy fist, and he swings, and notably, the building that Dismantle got refracted off to begins to fall on them, and Gojo catches Sukuna's fist, but specifically he catches it at first with the infinity. And I can't tell. It seems like maybe Sukuna's using domain amplification here, because it seems to be digging into the infinity a bit. But then it seems like Gojo recognizes that, once again, because he's fought domain amplification before, and he catches Sukuna's fist. And you see, this is the first thing that actually genuinely shocks Sukuna. Like, he actually has like the lightning spark that shows he's caught off guard. And they both slam into the building, which means Gojo slammed into the building with the infinity off. And we see they're literally, once again, fantastic use of the environment. But the two are literally flying. Sukuna seems to be hopping off air and or running, but Gojo's literally just levitating through this building as it's falling down to the ground. And we see they both ready a swing and just immediately clash, and the building crashes down. But we see the two just walk out. They walk out just fine. No damage, no scuff marks, and nothing on either of them. So it looks like their impact didn't do anything to either of them. It makes sense for Gojo, but Sukuna taking no damage is crazy. And we see Gojo's like, oh, I'm going to make it your fault for the catastrophe. And Sukuna's like, bruh, like, what? And Gojo's like, oh, wait. Maybe saying, she's got this. And we see that apparently this battle of two monsters cannot be withstood by the city. And this is the end of chapter 224. We are on break next week, unfortunately. But this chapter definitely seems taxing the draw. So Gege definitely earned the break. Like, and this is coming, I don't know. I hate drawing. There are two things I really don't like. Procreate and digital art has made the latter a lot easier. And even I bet I can use certain brushes to make the former easier. The former would be background. I hate drawing background. I don't know why, but I'm always mainly focused on the subject. That's why you'll typically see whenever I'm done like drawing an image for a chapter, I don't actually go out of my way to put the specific background. I'll just use like a random brush and fill the background. Because I really don't like drawing backgrounds. It's just because I'm lazy. It's really just laziness on my part. And the other thing is coloring. Bless Procreate. If I couldn't drag and fill certain things, my avatar would not be colored. Because I hate color. But this chapter definitely seems taxing to draw. I understand why Gege is going on break. And overall, wow, Golly gee willikers, fellas. Wait, no. Zoinks! Like, the chapter's worthy, crazy. Because it's Gojo versus Sukuna. Like, it's Gojo versus Sukuna in peak form. Are there certain things I would like? Yes. Aesthetically, I think the battle would look a bit more interesting if both had kept their cloaks. Or Sukuna was in his original form. Yeah. The battle was still heat though. Like the utilization of the environment. Not new abilities. Sukuna using his curse technique for the first time and it bouncing off infinity. Seeing the interaction between those is really, really cool. Seeing Gojo use telekinesis in these really cool, interesting ways. And that's also really, really neat. And seeing Gojo fly about. Just like this chapter, it is a lot of just raw action. There's very little communication in this chapter. This is a battle. But the fluidity, the intention behind the actions, what the actions portray for the characters, all that makes a chapter peak so far. And I haven't even read it. This is just the raws. So that's what I think. Please what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notification bells miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You should be though as one now a month. Get links to some videos, early content, and more. Also now become a member of the channel for as 3 as a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you so much once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. No. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.